The northern region of Sabah is a treasure for its biodiversity and productivity. At an international meeting in 2001, more than 70 experts from the Sulu-Sulawesi Marine Ecoregion, or SSME, identified this area, known also as the Kudat Bangi Priority Conservation Area, as globally significant for its rich biodiversity and fisheries resources. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity is the richness of types of plants and animal species, their habitats, and their genetic diversity. The Kudat Bangi Priority Conservation Area has many different coastal and marine ecosystems, such as the mangrove, seagrass, coral reefs, coastal rainforests, sandy and rocky beaches, as well as bays. Each ecosystem has its own groups of animals and plants specially adapted to its environment. The area also has high species diversity. In total, there are as many as 550 species of fish, 252 species of hard coral, 243 species of invertebrates, and 47 species of marine plants. This is higher than the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Sufficient number of individuals and interbreeding with other populations of animals and plants help ensure genetic diversity of an area. This is one of the many ways a large marine protected area will help maintain biodiversity. Why is biodiversity so important? Biodiversity is a vital component of our environment. It is a measure of how healthy our ecosystems are. Healthy ecosystems are more productive and more stable than unhealthy ecosystems. Healthy ecosystems produce more fish, more seaweed, and more shrimps than unhealthy ones. Biodiversity helps restore the landscape after large-scale natural events such as storms and tsunamis. Biodiversity benefits agriculture, ensures long-term sustainability of fisheries resources, provides opportunities for medical discoveries, and stimulates industrial innovations. Coral reefs are productive and have high biodiversity. They are like cities, bustling with activities and full of life. Not surprisingly, almost all the types of animals, plants, fungi, and bacteria known to science are represented on coral reefs. Not only that, coral reefs is the foundation of many important fisheries and fish populations. Fish use them for protection, breeding, and nursery areas. Additionally, they help prevent coastal erosion and hold the key to potential cures for deadly diseases such as cancer, AIDS, that may someday be found from coral reefs and organisms living in them. Coral reefs of Kudat Bangi Priority Conservation Area have the potential of becoming an ecotourism destination and bring significant economic benefits to the people and country. A unique forest is found where the sea is calm and the soil muddy. The trees can tolerate being flooded by seawater because their leaves could excrete salt. Most trees would have suffocated or toppled over in soft mud, but these special trees have roots that could breathe and hold the trees steady. This special forest is known as the mangrove. Mangrove trees protect shorelines, form the base of a complex ecosystem, and function as nursery grounds for juveniles of many commercially important fishes and prawns. Does grass grow underwater? Yes. Seagrasses are unique plants specially adapted to living in the sea. Like the grass we find on land, seagrasses also have roots, leaves, flowers, and stems. Seagrass beds are home to many animals such as sea cucumbers, sea urchins, starfish, crabs, prawns, fishes, turtles, and even the rare and endangered dugong. Seagrasses have been used to weave baskets, for roof thatch, as fertilizer, and for fishing nets. They are also suitable as sewage filters, medicines, vegetables, and raw materials for biotechnology. Mangrove, seagrass beds, and coral reefs work together to provide ecological services. Mangrove function as filters for water and sediment coming from the land and a sink for organic matter. Seagrass beds help stabilize the seabed by trapping sand with its roots and stems. The leaves slow current and water movement, allowing sediment to settle out of water. This makes the water clear and allows sunlight to reach the seabed. This in turn makes the water conditions suitable for coral reefs, and they function as wave breakers and a source of sand. Many commercially important fishes use all these habitats at different stages of their life. Other habitats are also represented in the area, including beaches and rocky shores. Beaches are popular habitats favored by humans. They are also home to many animals and plants. It is also where turtles lay their eggs. Rocky shores and sea cliffs are where specialized plants and animals could be found. They form dramatic and beautiful sceneries of the coastline. Other than biodiversity, the diverse cultures and languages found in the Kudat Bangi Priority Conservation Area are also fascinating, such as the Dusun Bongi, Ubian, Bajau, Suluk, Cagayan, Binaden, Balabak, Rungus, Sungai, and Brunei ethnic groups. The Kudat Bangi Priority Conservation Area is threatened by overexploitation of resources as well as loss and degradation of habitats. For many generations, coastal communities were able to use their resources in a sustainable manner, but many certain factors are leading toward unsustainable resource use. The coral reefs are showing signs of overfishing. Studies have shown that there are less fish in the sea these days compared to 10 years ago. Not only there are less fish to catch, but the size of the fish is getting smaller. Fishing grounds are further away, and more time is spent fishing to get the same amount of catch. Competition for small amount of fish grows fiercer between commercial and traditional fishers, leading to conflict between these two groups. In desperation, people have turned to destructive fishing practices such as poison fishing and blast fishing. When overexploitation happens, not only do we lose the resources we seek, we also degrade ecosystems until they become unhealthy and unable to support biodiversity. If we are not careful, we could lose the free ecological services that we have enjoyed from important ecosystems, such as the coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrass beds. What can be done to address these threats? In 2003, the Sabah government approved the proposal to gazette Kudat Bangi Priority Conservation Area as a marine protected area under the State Park Enactment. Named after a local son, the Tun Mustapha Park will encompass an area of more than 1 million hectares when gazetted, making it the largest marine park in Malaysia. It covers the seas and coastal areas of Kudat, Kota Marudu, and Pitas, as well as 50 islands. This proposal is parallel to one of the strategies identified under the Sulu Sulawesi marine ecoregion program to address issues on overfishing and habitat degradation. A Marine Protected Area, or MPA, is an area designated to protect marine ecosystems, ecological processes, habitats, and species, including the essentials of marine biodiversity, and which can contribute to the restoration and replenishment of resources for social, economic, and cultural enrichment. MPAs offer a range of benefits for fisheries, people, and the marine environment. An MPA may have multi-use zones and fully protected reserves within it. A fully protected reserve is where no extractive activities are allowed and is meant to bring benefits to both the reserve itself as well as areas near and beyond it. Fully protected reserves are sanctuaries for animals and plants, especially commercial and targeted species. Fish and invertebrates are allowed to survive longer, become larger, and to produce more eggs and larvae, therefore replenishing the reserve. The habitat that they depend on also recovers and could better sustain them. This leads to increase in the numbers, size, and overall biomass of fish and invertebrates within the fully protected reserves. How will people benefit from fully protected reserves? Through current and water movement, larvae and eggs produced by the abundant and larger animals will be transported into the adjacent areas and help replenish other fishing grounds. Adult fishes will also move into areas outside the fully protected reserve, increasing fish biomass in these areas. Even animals that do not move or go very far, such as giant clams, sea cucumbers, and abalone, will produce more larvae and increase their numbers outside the reserve. This is known as the spillover effect. Fishers will see an increase in catch in areas outside the reserve and enjoy an increase in income. Visitors also would be able to enjoy seeing abundant and varied marine life.